Honestly, I don't know why I keep making these videos. You know, I'm in Canada and we do have really weird weather. This is the month of May and weird weather keeps happening. It's cold today and it's windy. So let me tell you my story really quick so you know what the heck I'm doing out here today. Let me tell you, way back in the year 2016, I thought I was going to start a drone business because I had been into drones since the year 2013. So since 2013, when I started, I offered my services to many people and they used my services for me to film their events. And I thought, you know, I could make money out of this. So by 2016, I thought I better buy some really awesome drones. So in 2016, I did buy 3 drones. I bought the DJI Mavic Pro. It had just come out that year. Then I bought the DJI Inspire 2. Yep, I still have it. And then I bought this one. This is the DJI Phantom 4 Pro Plus. And if you're wondering, this is the case that was sold by DJI back then if you own the Phantom 4 Pro Plus. So keep in mind, this was the year 2016 and technology was pretty cool back then. So then why am I out here today? Well, it's been almost 10 years since the DJI Phantom 4 Pro Plus came to market. So I thought today I'd come out and take it for a flight. I didn't expect this cold weather or the wind. So back then, owning a Phantom was the best of the best if you wanted to buy a drone. And this was DJI's stellar drone back then because they offered it with an integrated display. This unit here, never had they done that before. This was the very first time. Now it's so common. And these remotes have a massive battery in them, so they last quite a long time. And I even have HDMI out in the back. Unfortunately, the HDMI out back here is not like today's HDMI out, so it's not, you can't really plug it into many of the devices of today for HDMI because it's not, I don't even know if it's HDMI 1. Next, we had the Phantom 4 Pro Plus. Well, the Plus only applies to the remote because it's got the integrated screen. This is the Phantom 4 Pro. What was pretty cool about the Phantom 4 Pro back in those days was that it was the first drone by DJI that had obstacle avoidance in the front. You see right here, you got 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 1 on either side. Now you could only use the side obstacle avoidance if you flew in beginner mode or tripod mode, but it also had the ability when returning to home, if it encountered objects, it could avoid them. Unfortunately, it's not like today's obstacle avoidance where it sees something and it goes around. This was only go over the obstacle, so that's how it worked back in those days. Also back then, 3-axis gimbal for the camera, but it had a mechanical shutter, something unheard of today. Back then it was a mechanical shutter. It did also have digital shutter like we have today, but mechanical is, it's got some benefits to it. Also a 1-inch sensor way back in the year 2016, but a true 1-inch sensor as well. This lens, there's a whole pile of lenses that go through this and they're all made out of glass, not like today where it's a composite material. This was like glass. You can smash it and crack it. My nose is running. I got stuff coming out of my nose. And because this camera and the gimbal were so fragile back then, we all put gimbal guards on the bottom. I have one on here. A lot of people installed them incorrectly if they were newbies, and if you install them incorrectly, you'll block the sensors and they don't work properly. But if you do it correctly, you can have a gimbal guard. That just protects your camera when you come down to land, because you know, the slightest rock you hit on this gimbal coming down at landing speed, you'll smash the whole gimbal to pieces. Also back in those days on the Phantom, we had the beautiful lights underneath each arm, super bright, so if you flew this at night, it was great. Could you film at night with this baby? I think the aperture on here, I could barely read it on the front. Well, it is like an f2 aperture, so you could, but it wouldn't be as good as the cameras of today. Also back then, flight time was around 30 minutes per battery. Today, I'd probably only get 20 minutes because the batteries are kind of old. And finally, range on this thing, back in those days, was a light bridge. Every drone by DJI used light bridge. Today, it's OcuSync. Light bridge was a technology that was hardware based, whereas OcuSync today is more software based. So that meant the max range I was getting out of this might be 7 kilometers on a good day. I never got 7 kilometers. I might have got 4 kilometers. It's not very far in miles, but that was a technology in 2016. Now, many of you out there who are young probably know that the Phantom had OcuSync in it much later in the years. But if you were like me, an old guy, and back in the year 2016, 2016, there was no such thing as OcuSync. Well, actually that's not true, because they put OcuSync in the Mavic Pro. So the little Mavic Pro that I had OcuSync, but these were still Lightbridge. And these big drones required that you put the props on them. So what I'm gonna do today is, this is gonna be a little different. I don't know if I can do it. So I've got the remote here. I want you to see what I see on the screen. I'm gonna try to fly this around, and I'm gonna try to fly it in all the modes that we don't have today in drones of today by DJI. There's a few of them on here. I'll try it in that, but I want to put a camera in front of this screen, like this camera here. I'll stick it in front so you see the screen. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, well, you're not going to see this video because I'll just delete it. Props are on. Let's power this on. There we go. She's going to come to life. The gimbal should activate itself, and we should be ready to go. So it is pretty cold today. I do have my gloves on. I'm gonna have to take them off to fly, but you could see my setup here. I've got this camera pointing right at the screen over here. I'm gonna have to fly it looking at over top of this camera over onto the screen. So let me just go ignore, update fly database. Let's go into the drone. I'll click on go fly, and now we're inside the drone. The first screen you get just tells you all about the status of how it's doing. As I mentioned in this video, I'm only going to fly it using some of the features that are not available in drones today. So here we go. So let me just make sure we're on the correct settings here. So up here it's autofocus and manual focus, and that's good. We want on autofocus. I'll have to readjust it because it is old technology. Your camera can literally go out of focus. Let me just check what the recording settings are. Let's go into my camera settings and let's set up everything the way I like it. So I'm going to leave everything on auto. I'm going to record in cinema, which is 4K 4096 times 2160 at 60 frames per second. That's good. And I'm just going to format our SD card right here, format. Now, one cool thing with the technology back then is the Phantom 4 Pro had the ability to take off and take a picture of its landing area. This was pretty much the first time DJI had this in a product, so that when you come back on return to home, it's going to match up what the landing area looks like in its memory with what it sees on the ground. It kind of worked, not all the time, but I'll try it here today. So to get that to work, all I have to do is click on the take off right here, and you want precision. You have to select that, so it's on precision, and it's going to take a picture, and then you slide it. And then I look over, watch it go up. It's taking a picture of the ground, and there we are. It should go to a certain height. It's taking a look at its entire grounds area, and it's going to sit there. Now it knows exactly where to come back to home. Now, another kind of annoying thing in 2016 with a lot of DJI drones is they would go out of focus if they had the ability to focus on something. So you had to literally bring the camera down when it's up in the air, look at the ground a little bit, and then just tap in the center of the screen. And that would cause, it should cause the image to focus with whatever is in the center of the screen. All right, so that's that. So I said today I would just fly this around and use features that don't exist in drones of today. So one of the things that was really cool in the Phantom of the old days is you could turn off the GPS. Yeah, you could turn off the GPS and fly with no GPS and no sensors on the bottom. Altitude hold worked. So you had a switch on your remote over here and you could turn off the GPS, and I'm about to do it. And since it's windy today, what's going to happen is when I turn off the GPS, it's just going to blow like crazy with the wind. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. GPS off. There she goes. Now she's blowing with the wind. I'm going to try to fly it here while it's blowing with the wind. So there we go. So that's me flying it now. Why was that a thing back in 2016? Well, for a lot of us pilots, we didn't really have a lot of GPS drones back then, and we were used to flying without GPS. And you can fly a drone way better without GPS than you can with GPS, especially if you want to go fast. Now I'm going to bring it back to me, and I'm going to show you another cool feature. It should be kind of looking at me over here. It does have obstacle avoidance and everything. I'm just going to bring the gimbal looking at me a little bit. Actually, I'll bring it down because this works. Oh, it's just blowing in the wind. But you know, one of the cool things about the Phantom is wind never bothered the Phantom. So here we go. It's big. It's getting blown to the side. Look at the trees. It's, well, my gloves are going. So let me put on something that we don't have today. Well, we do kind of have it, but it doesn't exist in the same form it existed back in 2016. And that is tripod mode. So I'm going to turn it on right here. Go over to my screen. I don't know if you can see my screen, and it's right over here. It's called tripod mode. We're in the tripod mode right now. Now I have every sensor working. Sensors in the front, sensors in the back, sensors on the side, sensors on the bottom. and it cannot fly very fast. It's cinematic tripod mode. So let me see if my frozen fingers can move the drone forward here. What it does is it keeps all the movements of the drone really, really slow. Like I'm trying to go full blast here, but that's about as fast as I can go. I can't go any faster than this. So it doesn't matter how I move the joysticks, that's all I'm gonna get. So if you're doing cinematic stuff like, you know, bringing the camera in and pushing out, it's pretty good for stuff like that. I know there's a tree there, it's complaining to me. There we go. I gotta go sideways, but here I'll get it to look at me. You know, it's got obstacle avoidance, so it sees me and everything else. But the cool thing is you could get this to go really low to the ground in tripod mode. You didn't bother with tripod mode high up in the air. What you did is you brought it down super low to the ground. So I'll just head straight forward and you can see it's low to the ground. And that was tripod mode in the past. It was something that we don't have as much today. It's pretty low. There's all sorts of things flying in front of it. You see how the ground is coming up in front of it and it's like, yikes, I'm gonna crash into it? Well, in tripod mode, it won't crash, it will just stop. But it does have a mode to go over the ground like that. So watch this. I'm gonna turn off tripod mode. Yes, confirm. And now I click over here and it should have terrain follow. Do I see it? Terrain follow. Maybe the next screen. Terrain follow. There it is right here. So with terrain follow, start. So with terrain follow is hide. There we go. What terrain follow does is if I take this drone and I put it at the height I have it right now, it will stay that height above the ground, even if the ground goes up and down. Once again, this is something we kind of don't have as much in drones of today by DJI. So let me go forward. I'm not in tripod mode anymore. This thing should bounce up into the air. I should fly over stuff and not hit the ground. And as a matter of fact, it sees the table over there. So we want to go that way. There we go. It should stay above the ground, which it's doing. There we go. So we're above the ground. So that's basically terrain follows. So let's do things like this. You see that green patch of grass over there? That's a cricket field. So we can do tap to fly, which is this one. So I'm gonna tap, yes, we just wanna go tap forward, backwards, or free flight. I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna tap right there, what we see, and it will, see that? It's gonna fly over to that patch of green grass. There she goes. There's nobody over on it, so we're good. And no, it's not going to thunder into the ground, but it's going to stop. There we are. So we should be, you see the grass? There we are. So that is tap to fly. Don't see that too much in drones of today. Let's stop that. So another one we want to do, which ones do we have? We had tripod mode, draw, gesture. You can do the draw one. I'll show you the draw. It's pretty cool. So the draw is basically you just draw a pattern on the screen. So watch my finger, watch the screen. This is us over here. I'm going to draw like this, a zigzag. And start point, yes. See, look, do you see the green line I'm drawing on the screen? It's a crazy green line. I've got it going all over the place. I don't know where I'm going to end up, but that's it. It said failed to start route. Yeah, probably because I just made a disaster of it. Anyways, you saw what let me try one more time. It often works, but you have to be careful not to make it go too crazy. So I'm going to draw it, start, and I'm going to go over here. Like this. See that zigzag? High wind, it's saying. Okay, is that gonna work? Yeah, so we'll do that. Go. So this is another thing you don't see on DJI drones today. It is gonna follow that route I just drew, and hopefully it doesn't smash into too many things. There we are. And then you can see the end point down here. I can't see it. I can't even see it. I can hear it, but I can't see it. Oh, there it is over there. There it is. It's following that route. It was a pretty cool feature back then. We don't really have it anymore today, but there we go. She's coming to an end. She's up in the sky, way up there. Should be coming to the end. That's where I've got the end, someplace over here. No, anyways, it's still going. Ah, it's still going. Oh, it's turning back to me. Where is it? See, you could control the camera and stuff when it's doing stuff like that. It's still flying. I'll just hit the stop. I think there we go. Now we're done. Okay, that's good. So that was draw. Gesture mode is only if you want to take a picture. Tripod mode we saw. Tap to fly. Active track, it's the same as today. We had active track back then, which is pretty cool. It does have waypoints, just like you have them today, but a little bit better back then. I think that's pretty much it for the cool things. Oh, the follow me up here is GPS follow, so that's something we don't have today. And the course lock down here was basically you lock it going in a direction, but the drone, you can see the arrows around the little icon. It can point in any direction while it's following the direction you lock it in. So let me just show you how good Active Track was back in the day. Okay, so if you're looking at my screen, I'm going to show you on the screen Active Track. I don't know if I can do it because I'm sitting down. It may not work. Let's go over to this. It still thinks we're in the other option. We're going to go to Active Track right over here. I'll try it on me over here. Go. Oh, it's got the table again. Oh, maybe go. Try that. I'll move away. Does it have me? I think it's still got the table. Let's see. I think it's got me. Yeah, I think it's got me because it's hanging out there. So I think Active Track is working. So let me just see. Let me go this way. So follow me back here. Yeah, so Active Track back then was pretty much like it is today. It was pretty smooth. They could follow you around, point of interest, all that stuff. So we had it way back in 2016. All right, good enough, it works. I'm gonna try a photo now just to show you what a photo looks like back then. The photos were 20 megapixel. There we go, get a photo like that. I'll tap on me to make sure I'm in photo. Let me turn off the video. Go to photo. Tap on me. Not, what's the go? Oh, it still thinks I'm in Active Track. Hang on, I don't want to do Active Track. No, I don't, stop. I turned off. I want to take a photo. How do I get, oh, I know why. Back then, if you wanted to get out of Active Track or anything like that, you had to go back to normal up here, the top one. Okay, so there we go. So tap on me to make sure I'm in focus and take a photo. I'm going to look at the camera and I'll snap a 20 megapixel photo. There we go. Photo taken. Let's go back into video. Next thing I'll try is a quick return to home. Now my battery's low and we're going to go to return to home, but I wanted to show you something that a lot of people thought was great about the Phantom, but it's not that great. Watch this, I'm going to take it up a little. It's going to run out of power. I'm going to put it in sport mode, and let me just put it in sport mode. Where's my switch here? Sport mode. I'm going to go forward. Now watch, you're going to get the props in the frame. When I go full blast, you should see the props in the frame. Let me take it up. It's very fast. It's probably one of the fastest drones ever made by DJI. The only way you could fix that was to put an ND filter on the drone, and then it would be okay. So let's try the return to home since it's buzzing and telling me that it's almost out of power. So I'm going to do return to home right now. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to hit this button. There we go. She's coming back.
Go home.
And we'll see how well it comes back. It flies back pretty fast. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you know, back in the day, we did get almost 30 minutes of flight time, but nowadays my batteries are so old, they don't last for 30 minutes anymore. So it's gonna come back. Hopefully it remembered what the ground looked like. Unfortunately, the camera, I can't play with it on the Phantom to make it look down and all over the place and return to home. It kind of does its own thing. So going into landing mode, we'll just watch it here on the screen. And I'm going to take this camera and just get up and go stand over where it's coming down to see where it's coming from. All right, so we're walking over this way. It's over there. I'm going to try to turn this camera towards it. There she comes. So the sun's there. Sorry about that. Let's come on this way. It's adjusting itself. Let's see back. This is 2016 technology. So you can see it took off. It's found the landing pad. This is 2016 technology. That's pretty sweet. Look at that. Now it also knows, it's right over the landing pad. If I walk around it here, look at this. Underneath it is the landing pad. But the technology in 2016 with the Phantom, because it was so fragile with that little gimbal, it has the technology that says if the ground is not 100% flat and smooth, it won't land. And if you look down at the ground, what is it? It's grass. So I gotta go back to the remote and just tell it to land. No, it's not landing. I'll have to do it myself. I'm pulling it down. And what's on the landing pad? I tell you, technology in 2016 was pretty darn awesome. So that was the Phantom that came out in 2016, and we're coming up to the 10-year point. Is it still relevant today? It's still 100% usable today. If you have a Phantom, any model, even the Phantom 3, Phantom 2, maybe not so good, but the Phantom 3s were good and the Phantom 4s were good. If you have any of those, you can still use them today. They're still really awesome. So I guess the last thing to say is if you had a Phantom and you enjoyed it, Post your comments below. Tell the world about your enjoyment with the Phantom. Hey, let me know if you still have one. Not too many people do. I'm the only person I know in my area that still owns a Phantom. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in another video in the future. Until then, bye!